do a acrylic sculptor acrylic nail. So first thing we need to do is to set up our station properly. We need to have towels and also paper towels on top of it. I'm gonna use odorless liquid and powder, so I have it here ready in place, ready to use. We're gonna need hand sanitizer, cotton, hand lotion, cuticle oil. I'm going to need some of these fingers. You also can use these little plastic fingers. Put a tip, attach a tip right here this way, and you can work over this nail. Right, I'm gonna need files and buffers. I'm gonna need orange wood sticks and nail pusher. I'm gonna need a manicure brush, forms, a brush, an acrylic brush right here. I'm gonna use this as a square one, a square acrylic brush. You can also use round ones, but on your kit you're gonna have this square one, which is the one that I'm gonna use for the demo today. You also gonna need primer and dehydrator, which I don't have here because I'm not planning to leave the nail, but you're supposed to have primer and dehydrator first. So this is how we're gonna set up our station. Anything that we used, since I'm right-handed, I'm gonna place the liquid and the powder on my right side, and I'm gonna have also an extra piece of paper towels so I can wipe my brush right here, and that way you're not gonna ruin your towels. So this is my setup. Okay, so the first thing I have to do is to sanitize hands. Then I'm going to get some acetone and remove any natural oils and nail polish from the nails. It will also dehydrate the nails. In this case today, I'm not gonna use a primer, neither a dehydrator. The dehydrator I use will be acetone. And right after, I'm going to start to file the natural nail to remove any natural oils and remove the smoothness of the natural nail. This way the acrylic will adhere better to the natural nail. Remember to make sure that all oils are gone. Then I get a soft cuticle pusher, push the cuticle back and remove any debris of dust of natural nail left in her nail. Next, I'm going to apply the nail form. In this case, I'm going to mold the nail form first so I can apply it. Make sure to hold the nail form with your thumbs and your fingers and apply it straight, making sure there is no gap in between the nail and the form. Remove my fingers and making sure the form gets attached and is straight. At this point, it will be a good idea to apply the nail primer and let it dry. Hold the finger until it dries. Then I'm gonna grab my brush, my odorless liquid, and I'm gonna dip it into the liquid, remove the excess of the oil of the liquid, and begin to form my acrylic pearls. Odorless is very liquidy, so it will take a long time to dry. It is better to use small brushes when you're starting, like the one it comes on your kit, because this way you will not absorb so much of the monomer and your acrylic will dry faster. Now I'm gonna use only the belly of my brush and tap at the top of the acrylic to form the free edge or to give the length to the nail. Every time I mold the nail, I also clean my brush, making sure I clean it over the paper that I have at the side and keep patting. If you notice, I apply some acrylic on the point of the finger, forming a free edge, and I went side to side until it gets molded. Now I get my second bit, which is a little bit more liquidy, and I put it in the top of the natural nail in between the free edge that I just formed and her natural nail, forming a almond shape. Pat it with the belly of my brush, and I also use my fingers. I attach my fingers so that way I have better control of my brush. Clean the brush and then make another little acrylic pearl and place it at the base of the nail. If you notice, every time I place or I grab new acrylic, I clean my brush very good. And I place my model's finger down because this type of acrylic is it takes a while to dry, so I place my finger down so the acrylic goes to the bottom in the on the middle of the nail. I grab one more pearl, and now the following pearls are here just to blend the other three, so they're gonna be just on the surface of the three so I can connect the 3 bits that I did earlier. I can also bring the acrylic a little bit up, and I just wait for it to dry. Check all sides of the nails, in the front and also on the side, and wait until it dries. Once I'm finished, I'm checking to see if they're dry. Usually acrylics have this clicking sound whenever they're dry. Remove carefully the form, and then we're ready to file the nail. I'm gonna use the coarser side, and I'm gonna do the sides first, then the front. See, I'm just going one way. The front I can go both ways, but I need to hold the nail so it won't hurt her. Then I'm gonna do the top of the nail as well. But before I do that, I'm gonna apply some alcohol content solution, which is the hand sanitizer, and it will help me to remove the sticky layer or inhibition layer that is left on top of the nail, and this will help you to not have so much of that stickiness of acrylic when you're filing. Then I'm filing the nail side to side, starting from the center down to one side, center down to the other side, and also to the bottom, to the tip of the nail. And at the base, I'm gonna be very careful to file it in a way that I won't cut the cuticle or the skin around the cuticle. Making sure that the center is always higher than the rest of the nail, making like an almond shape form on your nail. Now I'm gonna buff the nail in the same manner, making sure that I always leave the center a little higher and also the free edge. Making sure this is smooth and there's no rough lines or pieces of acrylic that are not smooth. I use my buffer, then I'm gonna apply oil, cuticle oil, and this will help me to remove all the debris of acrylic dust that it may be in the base of the nail. Once I finish, I'm still smoothing a little bit, and she has to go wash her hand. But I'm buffing it a little more, so making sure that it looks nice and shiny. So once she washed her hand, now the nail looks cleaner and we're ready to polish the nail. Remember, this is not a French looking acrylic. This is just plain basic acrylic. You can also do this for stay board, but at the stay test, you're not gonna have to apply polish. You only have to do the nail. So apply base coat. Now I'm gonna apply 2 coats of nail polish, making sure that the nail polish doesn't goes into the skin or the cuticle. You always want to leave a 1/16 to 1/18 of an inch space between the skin and the product. Now I'm applying a top coat. And we're done.